thank you, Lynn. I appreciate that very generous introduction. A few months ago, when I was contacted about receiving this award, a couple of thoughts went through my mind. The first one was, gee, that's really nice. They went on to say, of course, you know, you have to make a chapel talk at Webb. Well, immediately about 100 names flashed through my mind of people who were far more deserving of this award than I. And the second thought I had was that, you know, 34 years ago, I was absolutely sure I'd made my last chapel talk to Webb School. But somehow, here I am. There are a few people that I'd like to mention to start out with, and others during the course of the brief comments that I'm going to make this morning. But Jim Snodgrass is a fellow that I want to mention. He was a first-year history teacher in 1960, the fall of 1960, which was the beginning of my senior year. Jim has been here all that time, and I guess is the only active faculty member still here from those days. And Jim, I just want to take this opportunity to thank you for the wonderful job and tremendous contributions that you've made to Webb School through those 34 years. I think it's particularly appropriate that this is the 30th reunion for the class of 63-64, which, as Lynn pointed out, I was the assistant varsity basketball coach and the head coach for the JV team on. It was a wonderful year. It was a great group of guys. I also want to take this opportunity to thank another staff member that's still here now, who was the first-year young coach of that team, who gave me an opportunity to be his assistant and to be the JV coach, and that's Don Tarpon. I seem to have had a string of first-year teachers here at Webb to have relationships with, and actually I met my wife Sherry when she was a first-year biology teacher here. We subsequently got married, and probably was the best thing that ever happened to me in my life. We've got 3 children that have gone to Webb here, and when they started, one has graduated, 2 are still here. We calculated that we had 24 parents' nights to go to. Earlier this week, we went to the 21st of those 24 parents' nights. And I want to take this opportunity to thank President Bill Pfeiffer, the faculty, administration, and staff for what a wonderful, wonderful job we think that you all are doing. And we got another one next week now with the sophomore class, but it's really tremendous to see what all goes on here at the school. I want to talk a little bit about business, because I think sometimes business gets a bad rap in a way about what's done. I thought about talking about different techniques, discounted cash flow, net present value analysis, or convertible subordinate debentures, but I thought you wouldn't be too interested in that. So I thought I'd really kind of talk about what the essence of business is as I perceive it. As Lynn pointed out, I've spent my career starting businesses from scratch, and essentially a scratch startup is a business where you take an idea and then you put it into effect. You create something that actually wasn't there before. That notion has always intrigued me. It's amazing how involved, how stimulating that process can be. Most people in the business community generally feel that that's the most difficult way to get involved in business, the highest risk and the least likely to succeed. Those have not been the cases with me. I've had an opportunity to be involved in starting some 20-odd businesses, and most all of them have worked out well. I tried to get 3 areas or 3 important things that gets to the essence of business and what makes it tick in my judgment. I think the first thing, particularly when you go back to scratch startups, a lot of people are afraid to take that chance. I think the first thing is you need to have a willingness to try. Where that willingness to try comes from, it may be well genetic, it may also be well experiences and things you're exposed to. I had a great uncle of mine who started a company here from scratch in Knoxville, Tennessee called the JFG Coffee Company, which grew and is still in existence today. It was a very successful company. I think the other experience of a scratch startup I saw that gave me great encouragement was Webb School. Almost from the beginning, I saw Bob Webb take an idea and bring it into a reality. And as I see it work today and see how it's blossomed and grown, it's absolutely amazing. And I know it has to be very gratifying to Bob as well. It's a tremendous experience to take an idea and bring it into reality. The ways to go about doing it once you have the idea and bring it into reality is I think you need to establish what's called a corporate culture. The way I describe a corporate culture in the businesses that I'm involved with revolves around a concept we call a fairness triangle. And the nature of that is if you're fair to the customer, fair to the employees, and fair to the company in equal proportions in every action you take every day, then you'll have a successful experience. I can't emphasize how important that corporate culture notion is for a successful business. The last thing I think that it takes is the sense of trying to do a little bit better today than you did yesterday. Thank you and good luck.